thermostat's up, but I'm still shivering. The coffee's getting cold, just like the news you're delivering. You left the door wide open when you walked away, and now the January clouds are here to stay. I'm breathing out clouds in the living room, watching our memories wither and bloom into ghosts. And I reach for the space where your body used to be, but the sheets are like ice staring back at me. I'm losing feeling, I'm losing the heat, falling apart with every heartbeat. Now there's a frostbite on my heart, turning everything blue. I'm frozen in the second that I realized I lost you. The blood in my veins is turning to glass, watching the shadows of our happy past. It's a long, cold winter that'll never depart, 'cause I've got frostbite, frostbite on my heart. I tried to light a fire with the letters that you wrote, but the ink is too damp and the smoke starts to choke. Every I love you is a jagged little spark that dies before it ever makes a mark. My fingertips are numb, I can't even feel the pain, just the steady frozen rhythm of this November rain. Yeah, there's a frostbite on my heart, turning everything blue. I'm frozen in the second that I realized I lost you. The blood in my veins is turning to dust, watching the shadows of our happy past. It's a long, cold winter that'll never depart, 'cause I've got frostbite, frostbite on my heart. They say that time heals, they say that it thaws, but I'm stuck in a season with no ending at all. I'm a statue of salt, I'm a pillar of stone, learning how to be cold on my own. The sun went down at 4, never rose again. I'm tracing circles on the glass, waiting for the end of a day that feels like 100 years or more. I'm listening for your footsteps through the cracks beneath the door, but The streetlights are the only thing that's glowing, and the silence is the only thing that's growing. The calendar is lying, it says it's only been a week, but I've aged a lifetime in the secrets that I keep. I'm counting every second, I'm measuring the dark, waiting for a morning that won't ever leave a mark. Caught in the shadow of January's longest night, I'm reaching for the ghost of you, but you're nowhere inside. The moon is hanging heavy like a stone inside my chest, while the rest of the world is finding a place to rest. I'm wide awake and trembling, losing this fight in the middle of January's longest night. On the chair, still holding on to your scent. I'm overthinking every single word and where they went. I used to love the quiet, you used to love the peace. Now I'm begging for a noise to bring me some release, but the walls are closing in and the shadows are so tall. I'm just a little person feeling nothing at all, caught in the shadow of January's longest night. I'm reaching for the ghost of you, but you're nowhere inside. The moon is hanging heavy like a stone inside my chest, while the rest of the world is finding a place to rest. I'm wide awake and trembling, losing this fight in the middle of January's longest night. Following a different star while I'm still here, just waiting for the light. The cemetery gates are heavy and gray. I'm the only one who didn't walk away. I brought the lilies, but they've already turned to stone. In this garden of silence, I've never felt so alone. The sky is a blanket of static and white, tucking the world in for a permanent night. I try to clear the marble, try to brush the frost aside, but I can't reach the person who who's resting deep inside. I'm whispering your name until my throat starts to sting, waiting for an answer that the wind will never bring. And the snowflakes are falling on your grave tonight, like tiny little diamonds in the dim moonlight. I wanna lie down beside you and just drift away to a place where the winter is the only thing that stays. Each night is a memory, cold and so brave, just melting into snowflakes on your grave. Do you feel the shiver? Do you feel the weight? Or are you somewhere better, past the pearly gate? I'm still wearing the scarf that you gave me last year. It's the only thing keeping your ghost sitting near. But the white is erasing the path where I stood. I'd give up my heartbeat to wake you if I could. And the snowflakes are falling on your grave tonight, like tiny little diamonds in the dim moonlight. I wanna lie down beside you and just drift away to a place where the winter is the only thing that stays. Each one is a memory, cold and so brave, just melting into snowflakes on your grave. They say that dust to dust is how the story goes. But what about the love that the winter never knows? What about the plans? What about the us? Now it's just a name covered in silver dust. I've got the heating turned up to 85, just trying to feel like I'm still alive. But there's a draft coming through the cracks in my soul. Since you took the pieces that made me feel whole, I'm wearing 3 layers, but I'm still paper thin. The cold isn't outside, it's coming from within. My hands are shaking while I pour the tea. Everything's blurred, I can't even see the shadow of your touch. The ghost of your heat is a mile away down a one-way street. Is this how it ends? Just a long, slow freeze, begging for mercy on my shaking knees. You were my sun, you were my life. Now I'm just a casualty of a permanent
A sudden silence, then a soft piano melody.
logs have turned to silver ash and gray. The last of the orange light has slipped away. I'm sitting on the rug where we used to dream, watching the ceiling peel at the seams. There's no more smoke rising up to the sky, just the smell of the charcoal and a long goodbye. I keep reaching for the poker to stir up the coals, but there's nothing left in these empty bowls. The iron is cold, the chimney is choked, and the promises we made are nothing but smoke. The heart went out and the room grew small. I'm watching the shadows climb up the wall. The glow is gone and the heat has fled, like the ghost of a love that's finally dead. I can't find a match, I can't find the spark. The heart went out and left me in the dark. I remember the nights when the flames were so high. We didn't need the moon, we didn't need the sky. You were the wood and I was the flame, but now I can barely remember your name. Without the sting of the winter at the door, now the ice is just settling until the last ember flickered and died, and I had nowhere left to hide, nowhere to keep warm. I found a photo in a box today. The edges are torn and the color stripped away. We were standing on a beach under a summer sun, but now the gold is bleeding out, every single one. Your smile looks like a ghost I used to know, filtered through the falling of a quiet snow. Everything that used to burn so bright is losing its grip, losing its light. I'm reaching for the red, I'm reaching for the gold, but the story's getting tired and the story's getting old. Now I'm living in pale blue memories, like a frozen ocean on the winter trees. The fire's faded to a dusty tint of a love that's gone, leaving just a hint. I can't see the ice through the icy glaze, just the pale blue wash of our better days. I tried to call your name, but it sounded thin, like a paper kite caught in a hollow wind. The sweaters we shared, the coffee we drank, are just blurry shapes on a memory bank. I remember the feeling, but I forgot the touch. Funny how forever doesn't mean that much. Now I'm living in pale blue memories, like a frozen ocean on the winter trees. The fire has faded to a dusty tint of a love that's gone, leaving just a hint. I can't see the ice through the icy glaze, just the pale blue wash of our better days. Maybe the blue is a mercy, maybe it's a gift, to let the heavy weight of the heartbreak shift. If I can't have the heat, I'll take the cold. Better than a story that's never been told. at the mirror, but I don't see a face. Just a hollowed out map of a lonely place. I felt the sting behind my eyes an hour ago, but the warmth didn't fall, it didn't start to flow. It's like my body knows the water's useless now. The grief is a crown made of ice on my brow. I'm waiting for the spill, waiting for the rain to wash away the salt and the sharpness of the pain. But the temperature drops when you close the gate, and now the salt is heavy like a leading wave. I've got frozen tears on my lashes tonight. They don't roll down, they just catch the light like jagged little diamonds cut from the hurt. They won't hit the floor, they won't melt in the dirt. My heart is a glacier, my soul is a cave, and I'm drowning in the frozen tears I never gave. If I could just cry, maybe I'd feel a release. Maybe the war in my chest would find a little peace. But I'm locked in a statue, I'm trapped in the glass, watching the ghost of our happiness pass. Every I miss you is a breath turned to frost. Just another reminder of everything I lost. I've got frozen tears on my lashes tonight. They don't roll down, they just catch the light like jagged little diamonds cut from the hurt. They won't hit the floor, they won't melt in the dirt. My heart is a glacier, my soul is a cave, and I'm drowning in the frozen tears I never gave. I'm screaming underneath, but I can't find my voice. I'm a victim of the cold. I didn't have a choice. Let it melt, let it out, let me feel I walked 5 miles and I'm still in the same room, surrounded by the shadows and the scent of your perfume. I checked the compass on the nightstand by the bed, but it's spinning in circles just like the thoughts in my head. The landmarks are gone, the stars are all blurred, and home is just a beautiful, forgotten word. I'm looking for a sign, looking for a trail, but the wind is picking up and the light is getting pale. Every direction feels like the wrong way to go, when every path I take is buried under snow. There is no map for this cold, no guide for the dark. I'm wandering the ruins of a broken heart. There's no X on the ground to show me the way out of this whiteout and back to the day. I'm a stranger in a land where the sun doesn't hold, lost and drifting, with no map for this cold. You used to be the north, you used to be the light, the steady little pulse that got me through the night. Now the horizon is just an endless gray line, and I'm losing the sense of what's yours and what's mine. I try to follow my footsteps back to the start, but the blizzard erased the rhythm of my heart. There is no map for this cold, no guide for the dark. I'm wandering the ruins of a broken heart. There's no X on the ground to show me the way out of this whiteout and back to the day. I'm a stranger in a land where the sun doesn't hold, lost and drifting, with no map for this cold. Should I stay still, or should I keep moving? What's the point of the search when there's nothing but losing? I'm shouting into the wind, but it's swallowing the sound. I'm 1,000 miles deep and I'll never be found. Clouds are hanging lower than they've ever been. The sky is bruised and heavy, like the state I'm in. I've reached the edge of the season, the end of the line, where the memories of us the rain. The birds have all flown, the trees are just born, and I'm standing here finally, truly alone. It's the quietest hour, the deepest of grace, the funeral march for our yesterday. I'm opening my hands, letting go of the ghost of the version of you that I needed the most. This is winter's final breath, cold and so deep. The promise you made is a promise I can't keep. It's the exhale of the year, the dying of the light, the moment the world disappears into white. I'm breathing out the pain, I'm breathing out the death, as I'm caught in the middle of winter's final breath. My lungs feel like lead, my heart feels like tin. I'm watching the frost settle under my skin. No more fighting the shiver, no more chasing the sun. The battle for us has been lost and it's done. The silence is screaming, the air is so thin. This is where the ending finally begins. This is winter's final breath, cold and so deep. The promise you made is a promise I can't keep. It's the exhale of the year, the dying of the light, the moment the world disappears into white. I'm breathing out the pain, I'm breathing out the death, as I'm caught in the middle of winter's final breath. Let the ice dip the memories, let the wind take the names. There's nothing left to burn, there are no more flames. Just a hollowed out sky, just a final words we didn't say are frozen in the air. I reach out and touch them, but there's nothing there. Just a wall of crystal, 10 feet thick, and a heart that's slowing with every tick. I'm watching the world through a sheet of ice, paying for a love that had too high a price. I'm screaming in the quiet, but it doesn't make a sound. buried in a mountain that'll never be found. The air is getting thin, the blue is getting dark, and I'm losing the flicker of the very last spark. And it's a glacial silence, heavy and cold. The story of us is a story grown old. It's a mile of ice between your hand and mine, a permanent winter, a break in the line. I'm trapped in the center, perfectly still, lost in the glacial silence, against my will. You're standing on the surface, I can see your silhouette, but you're looking at a version of me you haven't met yet. The one who stopped fighting, the one who gave in to the frost that settled underneath my skin. I try to bang on the glass, try to break through the blue, but the silence is the only thing that's true. And it's a glacial silence, heavy and cold. The story of us is a story grown old. It's a mile of ice between your hand and mine, a permanent winter, a break in the line. I'm trapped in the center, perfectly still, lost in the glacial silence, against my will. Don't let me freeze here, don't let me stay. I'm just a few inches from fading away. One crack in the ice is all that I need to let the heart inside me I woke up and reached for it, the place where you lie, but the air was just empty and the fountain was dry. I felt for the rhythm, the pulse in my side, but the cavity's open, there's nowhere to hide. It's like someone came in while I was asleep and took every secret I promised to keep. Now there's a draft where my heart I'm a bird with no song, I'm a drum with no skin, just a framework of bone, holding nothing within. I've got the ribs and the lungs and the skin and the rest, but there's a terrifying silence inside of my chest. Oh, I'm walking around with a hollow chest, a haunted house where no one can rest. You didn't just leave, you took the life from the room and left me a cavern, a cold little tomb. I'm breathing in shadows, I'm exhaling the rest, living my life with a hollow chest. I tried to fill it with noise, I tried to fill it with wine, but everything spills through this hole in my spine. People ask, how are you? And I try to smile, but the echo inside me goes on for a mile. I'm a shell on the beach, I'm a bell that won't ring, I'm a puppet who's lost every single string. Yeah, I'm walking around with a heart just a haunted house where no one can rest. You didn't just leave, you took the life from the room and left me a cavern, a cold little tomb. I'm breathing in shadows, I'm exhaling the rest, living my life with a hollow chest. Does it hurt? No, it's worse than the pain. It's the nothingness falling like cold gray rain. I'd rather be bleeding, I'd rather be torn than to feel this vacuum from the night to the morn. Fill me up, but just let me break. I'm standing on the deck of a sinking dream. The water's rising higher than it's ever been. I used to look up when the night got too dark to find that steady glow, that silver spark. You were the constant, the fixed point in space. Now I'm just staring at an empty place. The clouds are moving in, thick and cold. The story of the sky is getting old. I'm holding the compass, but the needle is dead, just like every word that we ever said. And the North Star is dim, I can't find my way. I'm lost in the black, begging for the day. The one thing I follow is faded from sight, leaving me stranded in the middle of other travelers moving along, guided by a light that's steady and strong. But my sky is broken, my galaxy's torn. I'm a sailor who wishes he'd never been born. I'm chasing a ghost of a life that was true. But the further I go, the more I lose you. Yeah, the North Star is dim, I can't find my way. I'm lost in the black, begging for the day. The one thing I follow is faded from sight, leaving me stranded in the middle of the night. How do I sail when the heavens go trim? The map is alive and the North Star's dim. I'm screaming at the cosmos, where did you go? I'm drifting in a current that's starting to slow. If the light doesn't return, if the sky doesn't break, how much of this darkness am I supposed to take? I pull the collar up against the gray, but the chill finds a way to get in anyway. It's not the snow falling down on the street, it's the ghost of your voice, bitter and sweet. Every corner I turn, every alley I take is a reminder of the promises we had to break. It's cutting through my jacket, it's biting at my skin. I'm losing the battle, I'm trapping. The sky is ablaze and the air is a whip. I'm losing my footing, I'm losing my grip, and these bitter winds are blowing me down, chasing me through this hollowed out town. They carry the echoes of the things that you said, I'm trying to run, but there's nowhere to go. When the bitter winds are all that I know, all that I know. I remember the of your hand in my palm, before the horizon lost all of its calm. Now the wind is a thief, it's stealing my breath, dragging me closer to a cold kind of death. It's whistling through the holes in my soul, taking the pieces that used to be whole. And these bitter winds are blowing me down, chasing me through this hollowed out town. They carry the echoes of the things that you said, howling like thunder inside of my head. I'm trying to run, but there's nowhere to go. When the bitter winds are all that I all that I know. Make a way or let me stand still. I've lost the strength and I've lost the will. It's a hurricane of sorrow and a cyclone of white underneath the jacket and a pitiless sky. I'm looking back at the trail I've made across this field where the colors fade. I used to see two sets of lines tangled together like climbing vines, but now the path is a singular road, just one heavy heart in the waist-deep snow. The silence is heavy, the air is so blue. I'm looking for a print that belongs to you, but the surface is perfect, the surface is cold, like a story that's ended before it was told. And there's only my footsteps in the snow tonight, small and lonely in the pale moonlight. I'm walking a line that leads to nowhere, talking to a ghost who was never really there. No one to catch me, no one to hold, just these footsteps in the snow and the bitter cold. The wind is busy erasing the past, filling the holes that I thought would last. In an hour or two you won't even see that anyone was here, especially me. It's a clean white slate for a brand new year, but I'm still stuck in the you were here. And there's only my footsteps in the snow tonight, small and lonely in the pale moonlight. I'm walking a line If I stay still, will the snow cover me until I'm just a part of this frozen scenery? I touched a flame to see if I'd burn, but I didn't feel a thing. I guess I finally learned how to build a wall out of solid blue ice, how to turn my soul into something precise. The doctors say I'm fine, that my blood is still red, but I feel like a statue in a white sheeted bed. I'm looking at your picture and I'm waiting for the sting, waiting for the sorry or for anything to ring. But the wires are cut and the signal is dead. There's a blizzard of static inside of my head. I'm down to sub-zero emotions tonight. Nothing is heavy and nothing is light. I've reached the bottom where the mercury stays. In the center of these colorless days, you can't hurt me now. I've got nothing to lose when my heart is sub-zero and everything is blue. I remember when I used to cry till I shook. Now I'm just a chapter in a forgotten book. I don't hate you, I don't love you, I don't feel a spark. I'm just a hollow shadow drifting in the dark. The winter didn't just come, it moved in to stay, and it washed every feeling I had far away. I'm down to sub-zero emotions tonight. Nothing is heavy and nothing is light. I've reached the bottom where the mercury stays, frozen in the center of these colorless days. You can't hurt me now. I've got nothing to lose when my heart is sub-zero and everything's blue. Is this the peace that they promised I'd find, or just a slow way of losing my mind? I'm perfectly safe and I'm perfectly cold, a lonely survivor of a story untold. hanging from these like a row of jagged teeth, waiting for the sun to melt the paint underneath. You call this house a forever kind of place. Now there's frost on the window where I used to see your face. Isn't it funny how the thing that kept us warm is the same thing that left us out here in the storm? It's beautiful and dangerous, it's crystal and it's clear. The sharpest kind of silence is the only thing I hear. I'm standing right under the edge of the for the proof, and it's icicles and irony dripping on the floor. I'm locked inside a memory, and I can't find the door. The love that was a fire is now a blade of ice. I'm paying for the velvet with a hellish kind of price. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it a sin that the beauty is the thing that's finally cutting me? You said you'd be my shelter, you said you'd be my home, but you left me in a palace made of ivory and bone. I'm tracing all the patterns that the freezing water made, watching how the light turns into a serrated blade. We prayed for the winter just to cuddle by the light. Now the winter is the only thing that's staying for the night, and it's icicles and irony dripping on the floor. I'm locked inside a memory, and I can't find the door. The love that was a fire is now a blade of ice. I'm paying for the heaven with a hellish kind of price. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it a sin that the beauty is the thing that's finally cutting? Don't look up, the weight is gonna shift. Don't look back, there's nothing left to lift. The irony is heavy and the icicles are long, just a sharp reminder of everything that's wrong. I'm pulling down the shutters, I'm locking every latch. The wood is in the corner, but I won't strike a match. I've seen enough of daylight, I've felt enough of us. My heart is heavy metal, starting to gather rust. I'm crawling in the shadows, I'm digging in the deep. I've got 1,000 years of promises to sleep. Don't try to wake me when the April flowers bloom. I'm making friends with ghosts inside this quiet room. The world is spinning fast, but I'm perfectly still. Surrendering my heart, surrendering my will. I've got a soul in hibernation, tucked away from sight. I'm hiding from the memory of how you held me tight. I'm turning off the gravity, I'm cooling down the blood, waiting for the winter to turn into the flood. But until the ice has melted, until the world is new, I'm sleeping through the pieces of what I lost in you. They say that life is moving, they say that time is kind, but they haven't seen the wreckage that you left behind. My pulse is just a whisper, a slow and steady beat, ignoring all the people walking on the street. I'm a seed beneath the snow, I'm a secret in the ground, safe inside a silence where I never can be found. I've got a soul in hibernation, tucked away from sight. I'm hiding from the memory of how you held me tight. I'm turning off the gravity, I'm cooling down the blood, waiting for the winter to turn into the flood. But until the ice has melted, until the world is new, I'm sleeping through the pieces of what I lost in you. It all lost so no more why, no more when, no more how. The only thing that matters is the deep dark now. I wake up when the stinging in my chest is finally gone. Maybe in a decade, maybe in a The ice on the window is starting to streak. I felt a little color returning to my cheek. The sun found a way through the heavy gray blinds, and for a second I left the winter behind. I picked up the phone to tell you the news, that I'm finally shaking these sub-zero blues. But the line was disconnected, the house was empty and bare. I reached for your ghost, there's only thin air. The spring is arriving, the meadows are green, but I'm a year behind the life that you've seen. And I'm thawing too late, I'm waking up cold to a brand new story that's already old. I kept myself frozen to keep you the same, but the world didn't stop when I called out your name. Now the water's running, the heart's at the gate, but you're already gone, and I'm thawing too late. I spent so much time just trying to survive. I forgot that the rest of the world was alive. I've got all this warmth with nowhere to go, like a flower that's blooming underneath the snow. I'm ready to love you, I'm ready to try, but I'm singing hello to a final goodbye. Yeah, I'm thawing too late, I'm waking up cold to a brand new story that's already old. I kept myself frozen to keep you the same, but the world didn't stop when I called out your name. Now the water's running, the heart's at the gate, but you're already gone, and I'm thawing too late. The tragedy isn't the ice or the frost, it's the beautiful timing of everything lost. I finally broke through the glass and the stone, just to realize I'm standing here can't see the floor, I can't see the sky. I'm lost in the space between stay and goodbye. The world disappeared in a flurry of blurred lines. I'm looking for markers, I'm looking for signs, but your memory is a blizzard, thick and profound. I'm shouting for help, but there's no one around. Is it morning or night? Is it over or not? I've forgotten the things that I thought I had caught. My vision is clouded, my senses are numb, waiting for a clarity that'll never come. And I've got a whiteout soul, I'm blinded by the pain, a landscape of static, a heart full of rain. Everything's vanished, the colors are gone. I'm trapped in a moment that's dragging along. I can't find the me that I used to know in this whiteout soul, in this endless snow. I'm reaching my hand out to touch something real, but there's nothing but vapor and coldness to feel. You were the contrast, the black on the white, the only thing giving me shadow and light. Without you to guide me, the edges all fade into a ghost land that we both made. And I've got a whiteout soul, I'm blinded by the pain, a landscape of static, a heart full of rain. Everything's vanished, the colors are gone. I'm trapped in a moment that's dragging along. I can't find the me that I used to know in this whiteout soul, in this endless snow. I'm spinning in circles, I'm losing the ground. A silent explosion, a deafening sound. The light is too bright, but I can't see a thing. I'm a bird in a storm with a broken The stars are closing their eyes one by one. The war with the winter is finally won. I've laid out the memories like clothes on the floor. I don't think I'll need them or use them no more. The fire's a whisper, the window is black, and I'm at the point where I'm not looking back. My eyelids are heavy, like curtains of lead, leaving behind every word that was said. I'm letting the gravity pull me down deep into the quiet, into the key. with a crown of white lilies upon my brow. No more I miss you, no more of the ache, no more of the dreams that were destined to break. The world can keep turning, the world can be steep, but I'm finding my peace in the long sleep. Maybe I'll wake when the centuries pass, or when the green clover breaks through the glass. But for now there is beauty in being so still, like a ghost in the valley, a tree on the hill. I'm trading the us for a dreamless night, surrendering everything into the white. And I'm settling into the long sleep now, with the crown of white lilies upon my brow. No more I miss you, no more of the ache, no more of the dreams that were destined to break. The world can keep turning, the world can be steep, but I'm finding my peace in the long sleep. Don't weep for the fire, don't weep for the flame. The winter has finally whispered my name. It's not an ending, it's just a long rest, with a heavy heart buried inside.